entrepreneurs. I'm your host, Dr. Amanda, and you're in the right place if you're a growth-minded entrepreneur who's ready to align your energy, mindset, and business growth habits to manifest entrepreneurial success. And when I say manifest entrepreneurial success, all it means is that you are setting a goal and fulfilling it. That's really all that manifestation is. So today we're going to dive into the law of attraction and talk about how your inner power controls all of your success as an entrepreneur. And I want to talk a little bit about charges you may have or skepticism that you may have about the law of attraction. So I got to speak at a big event last week in Rhode Island. It was awesome. Shout out to all the people there. It was so great. And, I asked the audience in a workshop, who here has a charge on the law of attraction or who has skepticism around it? And when I do workshops, I tend to ask this question because I realize that everybody's coming from different backgrounds. You might have a religious background, a spiritual background. You might be an atheist. You might identify in many different ways. And I want you to understand that the law of attraction is really all about energy and that we all live in a state of energy. We are energetic beings. We have a measurable frequency. It's really cool now that technology is catching up to, in some ways, prove spiritual belief systems to be true. If you think about biblically, it's talking about you reap what you sow. We're really talking about the law of attraction there. And we're talking about the way that you show up in the world attracts to you how you're showing up. And that's the law of attraction. And if you look across all religions, all spiritual truths, throughout time, they come back to explaining and describing the law of attraction in big ways. So I don't want you to have a negative charge and say, Dr. Amanda's crazy, I'm out of here. Instead, I just want you to know that we live in a quantum field of energy. You have a measurable frequency that you're emitting into the universe, and the universe is responding to you. And when I say the universe, I'm talking about other people in your life, money magnetism, clients who you talk to, family members, just any interaction you have is based on the law of attraction because you are magnetizing to you your most prominent and powerful thoughts and feelings. And remember, your beliefs are just thoughts you keep having over and over again, and they get solidified into beliefs. The decisions that you make, the actions that you take, these are all based on how you feel inside. And your feelings are a magnetic force attracting to you something that matches the vibrational frequency of that which you're thinking powerfully and feeling powerfully. Now, the interesting thing about this is that you are going to attract things to you whether you believe in the law of attraction or not. So you might as well learn everything you can about the law of attraction and magnetism and manifestation, because then you can use it to play it to your strengths and to your benefit. And then you can be a deliberate, conscious creator of your reality. For me, this really started, a lot of you know my story of when I started becoming an entrepreneur. Really, it started this night I was on the floor crying. My relationships were falling apart. My life was falling apart. My money was in shambles. I was freaked out. I was terrified. I felt alone. I felt hopeless. And it was such a huge gift to start being led to teachers and I would say like thought leaders, teachers, really human behavior specialists. And then it led me down the road to law of attraction and Abraham Hicks and even The Secret and nuances there. And since then I've read, probably every manifestation and law of attraction book you can think of. Every time I find one, I'm like, yes, I gobble it up and I learn everything I can, because once I started learning universal laws, everything in my life started to change. So I went from being on the floor crying that night and feeling very powerless. I think that was the overriding feeling, is I have no power and it sucks. I feel completely out of control of my reality and I don't feel like I have control over what's happening to me. When I started to learn universal laws and learn about magnetism and quantum physics and really metaphysics and universal dynamics, and I started to realize, oh, there are actually rules to the game of life. There are rules. And if you follow them, you can predict your outcomes. And that to me was mind-blowing because I had grown up as a fundamentalist Christian and I had been taught these black and white rules about life, and that something is either good or evil, right or wrong. And if you don't live by the rules in the Bible the way that they were taught to me, then you're going to burn in hell for all of eternity. And this freaked me out. I used to go to bed at night and pray every night and ask for forgiveness for my sins. And there would be every once in a while where I would fall asleep and I would forget to pray. And I'd wake up in the morning and be like, oh my God, thank God I didn't die in my sleep because I would have burned in hell for all of eternity because I didn't ask for forgiveness for my sins. Little things, even as like saying, oh my God, it was a sin in my upbringing. And so I spent a lot of my life very scared and feeling very out of control and just, yeah, it was wild. It was a wild journey to find the law of attraction and really discover that the greatest scientists of all time are seeking truth and universal truths. And really, whether you're an atheist or spiritual or a law of attraction person, we're all in the quest for understanding the same things. Where did we come from? Why are we here? How do we optimize our experience while we're here? And then where do we go? And I think that all the great thought leaders are diving into those questions. And I've just chosen on my journey in this body, in this life, to help myself and you succeed by understanding how to access your inner power so you can get whatever you want in your life and business. Because I know what it feels like to be powerless, and I know how it feels to be powerful. And that's the concept between Inner Power Daily and choosing Inner Power Daily. So I want to give you a little definition of the way that I think about inner power. Really what it is being a conscious, deliberate creator. And when I say a conscious, deliberate creator, I'm talking about of your reality, whatever that is for you. Today, we're talking specifically about success as an entrepreneur. And this is because your feelings, thoughts, beliefs, and actions are aligned. So let's break this down. So inner power equals being a conscious, deliberate creator because your feelings, thoughts, beliefs, and actions are aligned. So let's dig in here. Your feelings are your guide to what you will magnetize. So I could predict your future by hanging out with you for 3 days, really even 1 day, and listening to what you say about how you feel, because that is what's going to attract to you success or struggle and stress. So if you want to be in struggle and stress, you're going to need to feel low vibe. You're going to be stressed out all the time. You're going to feel like everything's against you. You're going to be blaming other people, complaining, and just talking constantly about your physical ailments and why things aren't working for you. You're going to keep creating and recreating and attracting struggle your way if you stay in that vibrational frequency and in that place of feeling stuck and powerless. Alternatively, if I hung out with you every day and I heard you talking about opportunities and solutions and feeling joy and loving what you do and sharing it with the world, you're optimistic and hopeful and content, you're going to attract success your way more easily. So you are programming yourself on a daily basis for either struggle or success. And what's really interesting here is that we get programmed very early on. So in order for you to get a different outcome than, say, your parents or the adults in your life that you hung out with, you're going to have to reprogram yourself. You get to choose to reprogram yourself. And it is a choice. This is why I say the words conscious, deliberate creator. Someone who's conscious makes a choice to be conscious. Someone who's conscious decides, commits, and takes action toward being conscious. It means that they slow down enough every day to check in with themselves. They ask themselves the hard questions. What's going on inside of me? How am I feeling? Am I liking the results I'm getting? What's working? What's not working? If it's not working, what am I going to do about it? Who am I going to hang out with differently than I have been to get different outcomes in my life? How am I going to start to think differently? How am I going to reprogram my energy, mindset, and habits to get different results? And so I hope that you keep hanging out with me. I know you're here right now listening to this. Thank you. I love that we attracted each other into our lives. You're here, I'm here in a co-created reality where somewhere along the way you discovered me and I am here showing up for you, and we keep getting to co-create from a place of inner power because that's how I choose to show up, and you're choosing it by listening to this episode right now. And so, if you don't like the outcomes you're getting, if you don't like the people you're hanging out with, if you don't like the money you're making, if you don't like the clients you're attracting, you must change what's within. You must access your inner power. You've got to choose to be different and reprogram yourself using my inner power formula. Remember, it's recognize, reframe, repeat to reprogram. Recognize, reframe, repeat to reprogram. So in that recognize part, that's you being a conscious, deliberate creator. Now, the opposite of inner power or powerlessness would be that you are an unconscious and scattered creator, right? You blame the outer world for the results you're getting. And so you can never have that magic wand to deliberately, consciously attract to you because you think that you're getting your results based on things outside of you. And it's the exact opposite. So if you choose to be an inner power entrepreneur who is predicting your success, who is creating your success, who is, if I were a fortune teller, and I looked at your life and your business and your daily habits, I could easily predict, you're going to get a successful outcome or you're going to get a struggle-filled outcome. And if you're in the struggle-filled state, let's reprogram you. If you're in the success-filled state, let's keep programming you for bigger and bigger success because it's exponential and expansive. And that upward spiral growth trajectory, it's never ending. You have limitless potential. And so that's where we want to be when we're playing in a state of inner power consciousness. We are aligned in our feelings. We feel good when we wake up. We program ourselves with things like my morning routine for entrepreneurs. If you haven't checked it out, you're crazy. You must be programmed for struggle because you haven't checked it out. I have a 7-day free trial. Literally, you can get in there and you could access, there's 90 journaling prompts at a time, and you could get in there for free and check it out and see if it's a good fit. And then it's only $99 a month after that. And we're talking killer content that's going to inspire you every day, give you lessons, give you journaling prompts, give you, I really want you to think about it as activating your vision-based magnetism. And someone said to me, Dr. Amanda, you're like putting manifestation on speed dial. I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. I love that that's how people think of me. And that's what this program is. So just go to morningroutineforentrepreneurs.com, morningroutineforentrepreneurs.com. Free 7-day trial, and that after the 7 days, $99. There's a live masterclass, and actually the next live masterclass once you're in the program is on September 26th. So make sure you get in there. There's once a month, so don't worry if you're listening to this after the fact. We do one every single month, and you get 5 journaling prompts, 5 lessons every day of the work week, and then a book club on the weekend, and then the live masterclass. It is a killer program. So you've got to check it out. It's free to check out. There is no risk to you. Okay, enough plug in there. I think you're crazy if you're not in there. So, I just want to put that out there. So, when you're a conscious, deliberate creator, you decide how to feel every day. You don't let the world push you around. Instead, you realize you're the generator of your feelings. This also leads to the thoughts that you have. Your thoughts and feelings and beliefs are entangled. So you have a feeling and then you make up thoughts about it. And then those thoughts get solidified into beliefs. And then you keep recreating that. That then determines your decisions, your actions, and your outcomes. And so you want your feelings, thoughts, beliefs, decisions, and actions to be aligned because then you are a deliberate creator. If all of those things were 100% aligned, you would instantaneously manifest. And so anytime you're not getting exactly what you say you want instantaneously, it's because there's some resistance and things take a little bit of time to manifest. I think this is a funny thought or just, thought exercise. If you were to manifest instantaneously always everything you wanted, imagine what would happen to you. It would be, wow, crazy. I mean, think about this. We have 60,000 thoughts a day. So if you instantaneously manifested those 60,000 thoughts, how overwhelmed would you be? And how many of those thoughts have you not had time to filter through to actually decide if that's what you choose to create? So that's why we don't instantaneously manifest, because it happens in the container of time. And so it takes a little bit of time for things to become material in form after you've been thinking about them and feeling them. This is why, over time, the intensity of your thoughts and feelings is what brings to you your reality. So what you'll notice once you get conscious is that you keep having repetitive thoughts and feelings over and over and over and over, and that's what is going to dominate your being, your state of being. That's what attracts your reality to you. That's why if you want different results, you've got to start reprogramming yourself, and you've got to do it on repeat so that you can start having your point of attraction be different, your vibrational point of attraction. And as you do this over, it can be a short period of time, then you can start to be better at manifesting consciously or accomplishing your goals consciously. So just pay attention to how you're feeling. I want you to really remember that you can't have a successful ending to a stressful, struggle-filled journey. That is literally an impossibility, because if you are feeling stressed every day in building your business, so you wake up and you feel overwhelmed and you feel out of alignment, you feel frustrated, you feel desperate, you feel angry, you feel overburdened by the success you have, you feel annoyed with certain clients or people you're working with, you are planting the seeds of future struggle and stress, right? So in the present moment, you're stressed, then you're going to get a future of stress. So it's impossible to have a successful ending to a stressful, struggle-filled journey. Alternatively, if you want to have success as an entrepreneur and feel high vibe, what I mean by success, whatever that means to you, I think of this as I feel high vibe, I get to do what I love, I have time and money freedom, I get to work with the people I choose, people are being magnetized to me. Go back and listen to episode 7 of season 4, episode 7. So it's the roadmap, and it's us getting to our 4th zone, which is our zone of manifestation. You want to wake up every day feeling alive, inspired, in your zone of genius, because then you become a money magnet. And so that's what we're playing toward, right? And that's when you get to have a successful outcome. When you feel successful in the moment, in the present, you're planting seeds for the future of success. And so it starts now. It doesn't start when you have the $10,000 a month coming in. It doesn't start when you have the clients you think you want. It starts now. You've got to program yourself today to get future success. Okay. So everything that I do with you, whether you work with me in my group coaching program or the daily program I just talked about where there's a free trial, if you work with me just here and you listen to my free episodes, that is you programming yourself for success. And when you do more of that in a shorter period of time, you have more powerful, faster results because you're programming your brain with higher vibe consciousness. And when you choose to program your brain with higher vibe consciousness, you will become a successful entrepreneur. It's inevitable because that's how the law of attraction works and that's how energy works. Okay? So I want to give you a really simple action step. And the way I do this is in my journal, I just do 3 columns. So I do, a column on the left, a column in the middle, a column on the right, or you could just do 1, 2, 3 if you want to do it down if you have a skinnier journal or, like a narrower journal. So what I want you to do here is in the first column, I want you to write down something you're struggling with. And when I say struggling with, it's like something you're afraid of, something that's consuming your thoughts in a negative way, something that keeps you up at night, something that you're worried about in the future, anything that you feel struggle or stress about, just write it down on the first column. Now, second column, you're going to go, what do I want instead? Okay, so the cool thing about the things that you don't want, they give you clues as to what you do want, because generally it's the opposite. So let's say you're stressed out that you're not getting the leads you want to meet your goals by the end of 2023. Okay, so you'd say, I'm freaked out, I'm not going to meet my goals. Then in column 2, you'd say, what I want a system to make sure I meet my goals in 2023. Okay, so that's what you want. Now in the third column, you're going to write an affirmantra to reprogram in that direction. And remember, if you don't know about affirmantras, just go download my free chapters. You'll get the affirmantra starter statements. So go to IamAMoneyMagnetBook.com. IamAMoneyMagnetBook.com, and you'll learn why I use the term affirmantra, and you'll get the starter statement. So let's just play with the starter statement here. So in this example, if you said, oh my God, I'm worried I'm not going to hit my goals for 2023, what I want is a lead gen system that I know works. And the affirmantra would be, I am ready and open to finding a lead gen system that helps me meet my goals. So the starter statement part there is I am ready and willing, or I'm ready and open to. I am committed would be another phrase that would work well. I am committed to finding a lead gen system that works. Could be, I am committed to working with Dr. Amanda in her group coaching program. That would be a great way to manifest success in 2023. So play with those starter statements, and I want you to put them on repeat. So a way to repeat that's really easy is put it on your cell phone. It was really cool. A guy at the event last week that I was at, he said that he had read a stat that we pick up our phones 400 times a day. 400. Oh my God, that blew my mind. And so use your phone to your benefit. It was really cool. He's in my daily program, my morning routine for entrepreneurs. And he had written be, do, have, because I teach a course in there that talks about be, do, have, and I talk about spiral growth. So he had hand drawn a sign on his phone and took a screenshot of it that says be, do, have with a spiral to remind him to be aligned in his state of inner power, so that then he would take action that's aligned and get the results. Right? And so he was reprogramming himself. So every time he picked up his phone, he saw this. So you can do the exact same thing with these 3 columns. So write them in your journal and then put it on your phone. Take a screenshot and look at it. Every time you look at your phone, remind yourself, oh, I'm programming myself for success. Oh yeah, I've got to raise my vibe if I choose to be an inner power entrepreneur who attracts success my way. It's your choice to either continue to program yourself for struggle or to continue to program yourself for success. Everyone has the choice, and it's just a matter of programming, and it's a habit. Anyone can do this. I promise you. I was so stuck in victim-mindedness, and I started doing exactly what I'm teaching you here today. And I started with simple affirmations that I believed to be true. Now I call them affirmantras because I repeat them, and came up with my formula after helping myself and helping a lot of people and watching the exact process of transformation and then turning it into a system for you, right? So you've got to recognize, reframe, repeat to reprogram. And that's what this strategy today that I'm teaching you will help you do. So just write it in 3 columns, write what you're struggling with, and write what you want, and then write an affirmative statement that you 100% believe to be true using my starter statements, and see what happens over the next 30 days and share it with me on social media. I really hope you know that it's interesting how people sometimes think, oh, she's got this big podcast. She doesn't want to hear from me. She's got so much going on. There is nothing that brings me greater joy than hearing from you and hearing that I've helped you. Like, that's what I live for. So DM me, take a screenshot of what you put on your wallpaper on your phone to remind yourself, and then share it with me on social media. So my handle's @InnerPowerDaily, @InnerPowerDaily on Instagram, and I'm starting to pick up my energy on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn or Instagram @InnerPowerDaily, and share with me. I want to hear from you. I care about you. So I would love that. Okay. I know, I was gonna say I hope, but that's me hoping and wishing. No, let's be serious. I know that because you're here listening to the end of this, you are committed to getting results. So do what it takes, become an inner power entrepreneur, and attract success your way. You can do it 100%. Your success is inevitable if you do these strategies that I'm teaching you. And I would love to see you in my program. Just go to morningroutineforentrepreneurs.com. You'll get so much out of it. And until next time, I'm sending you giant hugs and inner power high fives.